and our first official Podway episode.
Yep, that's it. Today we're going to share with you everything about Mauritania. So this is the episode about the second country.
And our first official Podway episode. How are you? All good? لاباس؟
لاباس بخير.
كده؟
All good.
كنت بخير؟
Yeah, it's going well. It's going well.
No rain today.
Finally, no rain. We added a second wave of the rainy season, and it was difficult to make the episode, but finally we're here.
Yeah. Excited.
I mean, it's quite confusing because we're going to talk about Mauritania in a very green land, which is not...
It's very funny actually.
Yeah.
It's not fitting, but okay. That's how it is. And we're excited to share about Mauritania, our experiences, our advices, and our story.
So yeah, this is going to be first episode, first official episode from Mauritania.
From Podway.
Mauritania, it's a big country. It is, you don't see that, you don't know that till you are there and you start driving the country.
That's what we learned. We learned our lesson really there, that on the map it doesn't look like a huge difference, but then it's like 500, 600 kilometers.
Yeah.
And if the road is also a little bit with potholes and stuff, it's like even feels longer. So it's very, very huge and vast country.
It's a beautiful desert country that you can visit. It has beautiful beaches. It has beautiful landscape, especially if you are a big fan of desert landscape. And we loved being there. We stayed there for around 27 days. And most people, they just pass also, A lot of overlanders, they just cross Mauritania, so they do it in 1 week. But we wanted to visit the country, especially it was our first real overlanding experience outside of Morocco.
Yeah.
So we wanted to visit a little bit the country. So we entered from Guergueret's border, which is the official border between Morocco and Mauritania, because people might be confused with Western Sahara border or something like that.
There is no other border. There is one border.
The official border is only between Morocco and Mauritania, so don't confuse. There is no country in between Mauritania and Morocco. There is just, Morocco there, and it's a conflict, but it's all good.
Yeah. So basically, what happened is like we stayed the night at the border because there is like a fuel station, and all the truck drivers, they have a parking space there, and we also stayed with them there because the next morning you can pass early in the morning, and it's very helpful. It's a very easy border, not so much.
Yeah, the border is open from 8 to 5, so just to keep this in mind, you can't cross after 5 p.m. And starting 8 in the morning, it's easy. Maybe it will take you in the Moroccan side 20-30 minutes max. It depends on how much traffic there is.
Because there are a lot of tracks, so possibly even in lunchtime it's better to go.
Probably, yeah. So we entered the border. We had to go through 2 main offices, 3. So first one, we had to stamp our passports out, which is the first office once we are there. And then for overlanders or for people with their own cars, it's easier and faster because trucks, they have to do other,
They have another system. They check the content of the car and all.
They check other things. Yeah. But for us, they said to make it fast, we had to go through the scanner of the car, which took like another 10 minutes. We went there, they scanned the car, we went outside, they gave us a paper that we had to bring to an office. I brought it to the office, the official signed it, and then we were good to go. We didn't have to pay anything, it was 0 fees.
Yeah.
And we were out of Morocco.
And then you enter the no man's land.
And no man's land is just 3 kilometers or less piste. It's not so long. And people, they say it's horrible and stuff. It was not bad. It's now kind of paved. It's not so bad. There's just a small part of it that is a little bit piste on the side of Mauritania, but it was not bad. It was okay. And we arrived to Mauritania side. The border crossing in Mauritania side can be a little bit tricky, especially if you are less experienced. And there is a lot of fixers, which we didn't have in Morocco. The fixers to cross the borders.
Well, the fixers, they are like everywhere, at every border. It's always a personal choice if you want to use them or not, because you always have to pay a little bit of fee. And for us, actually, in our personal opinion, we think that it doesn't make sense because they just bring you to the office and at the end you are doing exactly the same.
Well, it's good. It's good if you don't speak French.
Yeah.
If you don't speak French or Arabic, it's good to have a fixer because he can translate for you.
Yeah.
But if you don't, if you speak French, it's no need, you know. So in first thing we did in the border was we paid 10 euros to entry to the border, which was like corruption money we shouldn't pay.
We also had to learn our lessons with the corruption money.
Yeah. So, and then we went to the visa immigration. We did the visa on arrival. It was 55
euros for German passport and 50 euros for Moroccan.
Yeah.
And we paid it with dirham actually.
Yeah.
So it was not a problem, and there was not a big issue with this. Just like later on, the guy who just has to check for the stamps, he asked then for the 10 euro corruption money because he didn't want to give us back the passport. But yeah, now we handle these situations differently, but back then we were just also new to it. And either way, we had also to pay for the car because we don't have a carnet de passage. So we have also to make a passavant and insurance.
Yeah. Well, the passavant we made, it was for 10 euros also. We paid in dirham also. And the insurance we did in Wadibu, and we did 1 month for, if I remember, 35 or 40 euros.
Yeah.
Something like that. But it was, in general, it was okay. It was not so much hassle. It was okay, the borders. And we arrived in Wadibu and the journey started. And I think the moment we arrived in Wadibu, we already felt the difference.
Yeah, it was really a huge difference compared to Morocco. Also because they have like everywhere the police controls, and they always want to have a fichier, while they want to have your information. With in Morocco, it's not like this. So it's actually a good thing to prepare this beforehand, just like your names, the car registration, the plate number, and the passport number, yeah? So you make like a print of it, and you make a lot of copies, because at every police station or like control you have to give this paper, and it makes it way easier than you give your passport, because
it's faster. Also, you give, it takes 1 minute and then you leave.
And there are a lot of controls. Yeah. So just like an advice for this.
I think we printed over 100 and we gave all of them away.
Yeah.
You know, it was quite a hassle with this, because like you give now and you drive 3 kilometers for
then there is the day. Because it's not just the police, it's also the gendarmerie, it's the military, and all of them, they want to have it and things.
But yeah, first impression, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, probably it wouldn't be so different, because I already felt from the clothing style and stuff, it has the Saharian, like more colorful and white flying, and so, but the language is different. They have a little bit different behavior also. They are like really relaxed and tranquil, and it was really different. Also, the Nouadhibou was directly like a different feeling, because it looks different, and also there are like a lot of old Mercedeses, and just.
So if we would like to give a sentence or like 3 words to Mauritania, first encounter with it for you, what was it?
I would say it's really this rawness, how I would describe it. Really like vast and raw.
Oh, cool.
And
But this is like the first thing you felt when you entered the country? Because rawness and vast, I think it's something you experienced after 1 month in the country.
Yeah, that was like...
if you can remember your feelings, you know, when we entered just the country.
I was just super excited, because it was like going into really a new world, which I didn't experience yet on my journey through Africa. And we left Morocco, and also overlanding with the car and all of this border and system and stuff. So it was like really exciting to experience something new, a new culture and all of this. And we directly saw also the Iron Train, which is the very famous, most longest train, I think.
One of the longest trains. It's not
in Africa, no?
Yeah, in the world in ways, but I don't know in Africa, but yeah, it's one of the longest trains worldwide.
So it was nice to see the train already, and just seeing what you hear about. And yeah, but was it for you like really that you say it's culturally speaking very, very different compared to Morocco? Because I mean, they are like neighbors and from the history and all of this.
Well, the thing is, when we entered first is the borders. When we arrived at the borders, I felt like I'm in a different land already. Because the behavior of the people was different, the clothing, even the skin of, the color of the skin. The language is slightly different, not so much different from the Sahara, but it's a little bit different. However, I felt like I was a little bit stressed, not excited. I was a little bit stressed because it's our first journey, and to a new country with the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a little bit stressed to see how is it going, if I'm gonna handle it well, how is it gonna be with the people there. And the moment we arrived in Ouadhibou, I felt like, oh, okay, we are now in Africa officially.
Yeah, the journey starts.
Yeah, the journey starts because before Ouadhibou there is like 45 kilometers, and it's you see that there is nothing. There is just sand or some abandoned houses here and there, and really nothing, So you feel like you are kinda in an abandoned country. We arrived in Ouadhibou, it was like crazy busy with all these Mercedeses.
Yeah.
And nobody cared about the red lights or what's going on. It was
no traffic regulation.
No traffic regulation, and I would say it was fun, And I wish to experience more in Ouadhibou, but the police gave us a little bit of a hard time. They followed us even with their cars, and they didn't want us to film inside one of the traditional harbors there.
Yeah, they didn't allow us.
And even, I don't know why, but it's normally allowed to go inside and take pictures.
They wanted to have like a permission, and it was very like questioning why.
Yeah.
And it is also like very protected. It's not like an open harbor. It's like surrounded by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like the country is welcoming me very well in the beginning. I feel like I'm away. Even when we wanted to wash the car, the guy asked for so much money for washing the car, and so I feel like I'm already in a different environment, which means that people are gonna try to benefit from me in ways. So I have to be more alarmed, and awake. And aware that, because I don't know the prices, I don't know the money, I don't know anything about this culture, and it's gonna be new.
Especially also one of the things is that the money was back in the past different. He calculated.
Yeah, there's a zero plus, so it's also confusing because you calculate with the old money, but you have to pay with the new money.
So they tell you the price of the old money, and you have to know that it's actually like 1 0 lesser.
Yeah.
And then some people, they don't know it, and then they give this, but usually like they should have, like it's a different money, but they wouldn't correct you, So
they would take the money.
They would take the money and say like, yeah, okay, it's fine. So there you have just to be a little bit.
Yeah, but that's Mauritania for the first impressions for me. A follow-up question that I have is, we traveled in Mauritania for over 27 days, and I mean it was really fun and hot. For a big part of it. Did you imagine that Mauritania has such greenery and like wildlife like that before?
No, not at all actually. Not at all. Because when you check the map, there is like really quite a lot of desert.
Yeah.
So there is also a lot of desert, like when you go more to the
east side.
But actually, we decided.
East side, we saw.
Yeah, there are the oases.
Yeah, no, not even the oasis. The road from Nouakchott to Attar had like greenery.
Yeah, also. Yeah,
like bush greenery.
Mm-hmm.
You remember?
So it's like not just desert, You also like we traveled from Ouadhibou to what was Shami?
To Shami.
Shami was the city, and from there we took an off-road track to the beach side, which is Bank d'Arguin. Darwin. I'm not so good in French. And that's why it was really interesting, because there's so many birds. We saw dolphins, and it was
a lot of fish.
And so much fish, and it was Like very every day we had this.
Actually, once you arrive to Shami, you see like you are in a very deserted area, and the vibe is just not good in this village.
Yeah, Shami is not.
It's like very bad vibe in that village. We didn't like actually be there at all. And then you go try to buy some supplies, so you can go to the Baghdad wing because there is no network, no water there, and it was difficult to find the supplies because there was just onions and some old potatoes around and. So we didn't have so much options there.
Yeah.
So we got what we needed in ways, and then we took the road, and it was just open land. Really, you drive just to the horizon, nothing. Sometimes there is sand dunes, you have to cross them, and then finally you arrive to this beautiful beach, like white sand, turquoise water, very calm, refreshing. It is such a beautiful landscape.
Yeah.
And you would never expect that Mauritania has something like this because you always connect it with desert, You would think always it's desert meeting the ocean and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be rough, but the weather was beautiful there. We had a wonderful time there. But yeah, it's unexpected that you might find greenery and wildlife in Mauritania if you are in the coastline and sometimes in the middle also.
And also actually in the south, when we were close to the Yama borders, there is the national park.
It
was really, we had a lot of greenery and
wild
pigs,
pelican, all types of.
So it was very interesting because we just expected that it would be just desert and no greenery at all.
So yeah, when it comes to Mauritania as an image, bear in mind that it's a diverse country when it comes to the landscape. It has also some mountains, rock mountains. It has also sand dunes. It has also beautiful oases. It has also beautiful beach sides. And so you can actually, see multiple things in the country. It's just you need so much time to be in the country, and you shouldn't be there in the hot season.
Yeah, exactly. Because even us, we were not in the hot season yet. But we decided after some point that we also would like to explore a little bit more the Atta region and going up to Shingeti and stuff. So we drove from Nouakchott to Atta. And it was very hot. Even it was March. It was March, starting March because it was my birthday.
Yeah.
So it was so hot, and we just took this road, and we didn't expect it's 500, 600 kilometers. And the roads, they are not that good, there are potholes and it's a little bit difficult in ways. If you go off-road, it's easier than taking the road actually. So off-roading is really nice there. And so we took the road, we arrived to Atta, and it was just too hot that we said no, we are not excited to explore more. Also, we didn't have so much time left.
So yeah, just to follow up with Bettina, that it's a big country, so what we would suggest, if you're not planning to arrive to Nouakchott in early time, pack up your supplies before in Morocco, in Dakhla as an example, and then you can go to Mauritania comfortably. Have enough water with you because it was difficult to find water, especially in the desert.
Very much difficulties.
And be prepared. And if you want to do the desert road, don't do it as a one car, do 2 or 3 cars because it's more safe. And people, they get lost and they have problems. And we met one a Spanish guy.
Was stuck.
He was also stuck in the sand and for 2 days, so he had to no network, nothing. So there is challenges in the country, and that's why it's beautiful for overlanding, because it's a country that gives you the challenges that you're looking for. It's not easy, it's beautiful, and it's the best thing about Mauritania is that the people will always leave you alone.
Yes, actually.
Nobody would come to you. Always they will keep their distance from you. They would never bother you or ask you for anything apart from the police. But when you are in nature, people, they are so nice, and they keep this. They can be helpful if you go and ask them for something, but they will always keep you alone.
Yeah, maybe a little bit curious and look from far, but they're very nice and friendly and leave you alone. And
it's 1 million square kilometer and just 3 million people living there, so you can imagine how much space you can have in the country, which is gonna help a lot when it comes to experiencing solitude.
And having loneliness and relaxed. If you really want to have this pure nature and adventure and going into the desert and feeling this loneliness and rawness, I think Mauritania is really perfect because it's very vast. But yeah, as Risen already said, it's very important to think about the supplies because also like vegetables in the north, it was quite difficult for us to find. We just found a little bit of onions and fish. And in the south, it's a little bit different, but in the north, it's quite difficult. Water supplies, it's also very difficult. So if you have a water tank and it's not that big, maybe also buy some spare bottles, like 20 liters, they're not expensive there. Have cans with you and also fuel, because this can also be challenging. Not everywhere are cities, because they have the nomads. They have the nomads lifestyle. And also very important is that there is not everywhere network. It's quite difficult, and also the internet is not always there. So you should have offline maps and just be aware that it's like this. Inform your family.
This is about the topic of supply. So, we're going to pinpoint this on YouTube so you can actually, listen to all what Bettina just said when it comes to supplies.
Yeah.
And, but still, one advice is just be prepared for the country because it's huge, it's big, and it's not easy to get everything you need, especially you have to drive fast and far to reach things that you might need.
So I also would like to know from you, like, what are the places which you really enjoyed, or where you say, or maybe a place where you couldn't go yet because of our travel, but you would like to go, or like...
Well, I would like to go to the Elephant Rocks and the Eye of the Desert. Also, I would love to be there, but maybe we would do it one day from Morocco, just directly to there.
Yeah.
And not, just being prepared for it and just doing that part of the world, because it's interesting. And this part is also interesting to see, because that's the real Mauritania.
Mm-hmm.
Mauritania is actually there,
Yeah.
in this region. But the weather didn't help so much because it was so hot, 45 degrees. And it was just too hot to drive farther than Attar for us. And we drove back from Attar because it was just challenging. But the places that I like the most in Mauritania is Bang Dagwin, especially the first spot where we slept. It was between the two cap of something, I don't remember. It was a wild beach, just the two of us. You can go for a swim. We saw dolphins there. The fish, you were just literally just swimming next to you. You walk and there is fish, big fish swimming next to you. So if you are someone who likes fishing, you can just bring, a fishing stick and, or a net or a rope or whatever, and you can get some fish from there, barbecue it, and have fun.
But you could also ask the fisherman.
Also possible, yeah. But what I would do different, that's a good question I would ask myself, is that I would just have more supplies to stay longer in one place,
Because that was
the only chance. I would love to have more supplies to go to Bang Dagwin, stay there for 10 days as an example. Just enjoy this vastness nature there, do the boat trip maybe,
Yeah, because they have the traditional boats there, so they don't use the boats, right?
Yeah.
So they are having the sailing boats, and it's very beautiful to see how they ship along.
Right.
But I did like the people of Nouakchott, because it was so funny. They always stopped us, and then they asked if if you want to sell our car, and they were like inviting us for coffee, and they were nice. Like,
no, the people are
very.
The people of Mauritania are beautiful and wonderful.
Yeah.
Just the military and the police that we didn't like.
Yes.
And we're gonna talk about this at the end, but
yeah.
But for you, I think I know what is your favorite spot.
Which one?
Well, the other park, Diwali.
Yeah, man. Diwali. Yeah. I love this place because when we were there, it was dry season, because in wet season it's a little bit difficult it's very muddy. But when we were there, we could actually park on top of the dried out lake.
Yeah.
And it was so nice because you have the donkeys and the cows, and then you have the white pigs running around. And a huge group of pelicans and so many birds. So for me, it was very I love animals. So I love to just be there and watch them, and you hear them, and you see the rhythm of life, and it was just beautiful.
We had we stayed there for 5 days, our last days of the visa in Mauritania, because we were not far from the borders, and because we stayed there for 5 days, we knew the rhythm of the animals every day, what time they come, what time they go, what's their behavior. There's always like a family of wild pigs coming at a specific time. So it was quite funny, and that's nice. I liked it there. It was really nice also because we could do a lot of work also. It was very beautiful. Just the mosquitoes were aggressive at night.
Yeah, well.
But it was quite nice to stay in this place also,
Yeah, but one thing I really regret not doing is that there is a huge camel market in Nouakchott, and I really would love to go there.
Well, the problem back then, if you remember very well, I mean, we didn't want to talk about this story that much, but the problem in Nouakchott when we were there, we entered and it's okay. So when we entered Nouakchott, there was like an outbreak in a prison, and it was complicated because the network was off, and they removed the internet, so we couldn't have so much information about the country anymore because we used internet to search and know, and we asked so many people about the camel market.
But they didn't know where is it.
Maybe we didn't know the right name, and so
it was
kind
because we were searching for it. But yeah. Next time.
Next time we do it in Tantan, it's also beautiful.
Yeah.
In Tantan, it's also very nice. They have also this festival.
You mean in Morocco?
Yeah.
Because not everyone knows Tantan.
Tantan.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
My final question to Bettina. I know you had your birthday in Mauritania.
Yeah.
And we were in Baghdad when it was quite challenging for you because you had to talk to your family, and I remember this very well. We were so far, and then we had to drive like for hours to reach the network, and we were driving like this with the phone outside.
It was so fun actually, because the thing is, like, for me it's very important to be in touch with my family because we are very close. And obviously if I just imagine my mom texted me and then there is just one dot, because I know she looks at the dots and there is one dot and I don't receive the message and I'm not answering like for 3-4 days. So she would be crazy, like what's happening and stuff. Because I didn't know in the beginning that the network would be bad there in this area. Because in the main highway it was fine-ish, and then the moment we left it was difficult. Like in also at 6 the internet is blocked because everyone is using it, or I don't know what's happening. So it like the internet thing is a thing in Mauritania, Morocco almost, in Mauritania. And so we were there. And I see my birthday is coming closer, and I know my mom, she will text me, and my friends and everyone will text me, and then I'm not responding, and then there would be like very like going crazy, what's happening, why she not answering and stuff. So we had to leave, and then we were like driving and searching for signal because we didn't want to sleep in the city. So we were like a little bit outside the city and like driving, no signal. And then like, a little bit, not enough. Okay, go. Until we had like a little bit of signal and we still could sleep outside of the city, and then we stayed there.
5 or 6 kilometers away from Shami, and then we slept there.
So we slept there so that like when there is my birthday and they write me or call me that I'm reachable. Yeah, it was quite funny.
It was fun.
Especially you go on top of the car.
Well, in Mauritania, we learned a lot, We did learn a lot about overlanding. We had our few challenges. We had,
We stuck in the sun. A little bit.
Bettina had her weakest points in Baghdad. You remember that day?
Yeah.
She was like, oh, fuck, I hate this. I just want to go back. I just want to be in a room. And so she had her weak points because she had to do something, and the wind was crazy, windy. It didn't help. So it was a little bit annoying. Sometimes it can be challenging.
Yeah, also one of the things is that I didn't grow up with camping, and I didn't do this really much in my life. So I'm not used to sleep in a tent or outside. So I really needed like 2 or 3 months to get used to.
Oh, Senegal, you were fine.
Senegal was fine.
No,
but yeah, okay. So it took me like 2 months to get used to sleep outside, because also the people, they have their rhythm. Like they sometimes go outside very early in the morning and they're just passing and stuff. But for me it's weird, why is this person passing? And I question and I wake up and stuff. But I just had to learn about the rhythm of the people and the noises of nature and all of these things. So it took me
now she sleeps like a stone.
Now it's fine. Now I just wake up and there is really
Okay, final thoughts, final advices for people who want to overland in Mauritania?
Yeah.
Make it quick and
quick and easy. Really, just be prepared with supplies, as we said, water. Inform your family beforehand that the internet connection is not that well. You have to have downloaded offline maps. Have enough food and cans. You should also have sandboards in case you are stuck. You need also, how is it called, to deflate and inflate?
compressor.
The compressor would be advisable.
No, it would be necessary.
Necessary.
Now it would be necessary.
Yeah, and either way, just enjoy. And if you go to the desert and it's hot, don't forget to drink enough water.
Yes.
And also cool down, put sun protection, all of those
Yes.
things. Very, very important because you can dehydrate very quick. And and just enjoy and go off-road. Don't be scared. It's very calm and quiet, and make the fichier and
Yeah, this is all the thoughts we talked about already. If you just summarize them in maybe word and
Exactly.
sentence. So that was a beautiful podcast today with you guys, and we enjoyed talking about Mauritania from a Greenland in Benin. So it was really beautiful, and it took us some time to make this episode, but we're happy it's out now.
we're happy to share.
And we're happy to listen to your questions. We received already some good feedback from you guys.
Yeah, we're very happy about this, and we are happy if you follow us, and also if you have any questions, or also you say, there is something missing, or we would like to know more about this, please feel free to contact us. And
And there is more information about Mauritania overlanding in an official blog post on our website, www.withus.com. And there you will find everything you need about Mauritania, more detailed, written, so you don't have to get confused with our talk.
okay, that's it from us, from Benin, and we wish you a lovely day.
Thank you so much, and see you in the next episode.
Bye.